everyone, today I will be doing my May book haul. In the month of May, I'm actually surprised with how many books that I've acquired this month because earlier in the month I had finals and was just studying so much, and I can't believe that I went to Barnes & Noble so much. Well, I actually did also order some books online, and I also received a special book that I did in my unboxing. I have acquired 10 books in May, and I'm so happy because normally I probably only buy like 5 or maybe even less books than that every so many months because I don't like to buy so many books all at once. I want to save my money, and I know like my TBR pile is just growing and growing, so I want to get through that before I buy any new books. But this month I splurged. I definitely splurged. So the first 4 books that I bought online at barnesandnoble.com, and the first one is In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. This is the last book in the Darkest Minds trilogy, and I am so happy to be finally having this book. I reread the first one a few months ago, and then I read the second one right after it because I tried reading the second one, Never Fade, a while ago, and I just couldn't get into it because the first few chapters were really confusing because I didn't understand that it was kind of showing a scene that was kind of in the past instead of in the present, so it was kind of switching between those, and I didn't understand what was happening. But I picked it up again in the future and I loved it. I love these characters. These are some of my most favorite characters, and they're so complex and unique, and I can't wait to start this book. This next book I have been seeing everywhere all over the internet, and I have finally gotten my hands on it, and that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. And this cover, just look at this cover. It is so beautiful. I actually had a hard time choosing which cover I wanted to get because there was another cover that was just as beautiful, but it was very different from this one. But I decided to go with the old storybook kind of look, and I'm so happy. So this book is kind of like, I'm not sure because I haven't read it yet, but it seems like a loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast because there's this village surrounded by this dark, mysterious forest. And all of these villagers are scared of this forest because dark stuff happens in there. But there is a person, a wizard named the Dragon, who keeps these villagers safe, but in exchange they have to give him one of their villagers, like a young girl. You could see the Beauty and the Beast aspect to that, and so I'm really interested because I've only read 3 retellings, so I'm excited to see where this one is gonna go. So the third book is Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gier, and this is the second book in the Ruby Red trilogy. So this series is about time travel, and the main character, Gwen, I believe, she discovers that she can go back in time. She has that power, which she actually thought, their whole family thought that her cousin had this power, but it turns out that she does. And so the first book actually, I felt like ended on a weird note. It didn't feel like it had an ending to me. So I think maybe it's like a translation error because this was originally in German, but maybe when I read the second book everything will start to make sense because I just felt like the first one was very unfinished, and so for the longest time I had no idea what was gonna happen. I hadn't had the second book and they were always sold out or they didn't have it at Barnes & Noble, and so finally I have this book in my possession. And the fourth book that I ordered online is Starflight by Melissa Landers. I have actually just read Alienated by Melissa Landers. This is the only other book that I have of hers, but the cover, all of these covers are so beautiful. I can't get over it, and let's be honest, half of the reason why I buy these books is because of their beautiful covers, but it's just a plus when they have a beautiful plot as well. So Starflight is about a girl who is an outlaw basically, and she kind of cons this other guy into being her slave, and together they travel and try to escape across the galaxy in this spaceship, and it just has a very outer spacey feel, obviously because it takes place in outer space, but I love these kind of novels. I haven't read too many of them, so I definitely know that I'm going to really like this book. So this next book was actually an impulse buy at Barnes & Noble. Of course, when I go there, they never have the books that I really want, and so instead I found myself picking up Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell, and this book, Okay, so first of all, it's a retelling of Peter Pan. So the main character, Gwen, Gwen again, that name has been so popular, especially with Peter Pan retellings, because I was just at Barnes & Noble the other day and I saw another retelling and her name was Gwen again. Okay, but anyways, Gwen has been moving around for as long as she can remember. Her mom seems to be running from something, and so when her and her best friend are kidnapped to Neverland, they end up on this pirate ship led by Captain Rowan, and Gwen has to decide who she can trust, the Captain Rowan, who has been seen conversing with the mysterious shadows that lurk around Neverland, or Pan, who seems like this very carefree fairy, although he's not technically a fairy himself. I've actually read this book already. The first half of this book was amazing, though towards the end it kind of, I feel like, got a little lost and jumbled, but it was still an all-around good book, and I definitely recommend you guys read this. So the next book in my book haul is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. Sorry if I'm slightly pronouncing that wrong. You know me by now. I get things wrong all the time. The main character in this book is given the choice to wed somebody, so she makes the decision to flee her village and enter the desert, where she meets this guy who kind of ends up being her perfect escape route. And so they both take to the desert, though the desert is said to have mystical beasts running around and people don't always survive in it, and it just seems like a very interesting, adventurous book. Okay, so this next book has been way up on my list of highly anticipated books. This book series is one of my favorites, and this book is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. So, oh my god, this book series, I'm so excited that The Raven King is finally out. Still haven't finished the third book in the Raven cycle, but I'm planning on rereading the entire series just so I remember everything. That way when I read this book, I can experience all the feels all at once. And just this cover, guys. So this is a story about a girl named Blue Sargent whose family are full of psychics, but unfortunately she is not one of these psychics. She has no magical power, although she is considered this amplifier that when she is around magic, it makes it amped up way more. And so she meets the Raven boys who go to this private school. These four boys are on a hunt for a Welsh king, so their paths cross when they are looking for like the ley lines and trying to find this king so they can bring him back to life. This next book, I am so excited to read. I know I say this about like a lot of the other books, but this one I am so excited, and that is Cress by Marissa Meyer. Oh, I just finished Scarlet, okay, and the feels are there. Okay, I have seen so much fan art for Cress, and I love Rapunzel so much. She's my favorite princess, and so I can't wait to read about her and the rest of the gang in the Lunar Chronicles. So this is the third installment in the Lunar Chronicles, and this one is based on Rapunzel. So it takes place in this world where it's set in the future and very kind of industrialized, and there are colonies on the moon led by this evil queen, Lavanna, and so these group of teenagers, basically they're kind of like misfits. They all band together and try to overthrow her and get their country and world back on track and free from her evil clutches. I'm so happy because this book is bigger than the other two. I'm so excited. I love this world so much. I have grown so attached to Cinder, to Thorn, Kai, Emperor Kai, and Scarlet and Wolf. I can't wait to read more about these people. Next we have The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L Armentrout. Okay, so when I saw this, I was like, ooh, this cover is so beautiful. And then I looked at the author, Jennifer L Armentrout. What? I didn't know she was writing any contemporary books. I don't even know if she already had some out, but I'm just so used to her other fantasy, urban fantasy novels, and so I'm so excited to read this. I literally, okay, so 60% of the reason why I bought this was because of the cover and because of the author, but when I read the synopsis, I was actually intrigued, and so I can't wait to read this book. Oh, just looking at it. Just looking at this book. Yeah, all of these books, I picked some great books this month. So this story is about a girl who basically is very introverted and she doesn't really talk much. And after years of being homeschooled, she is forced to go to public school, and there she runs into... Sneeze? No? Is it going? Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so where was I? And there she runs into a guy who was basically her protector growing up. But she finds that he isn't exactly as he used to be. They can't really rekindle their friendship in the way that they did before. So yes, I am very excited to be reading this book by Jennifer L Armentrout. If you've seen in my earlier videos, I always rave about Jennifer L Armentrout, but she is the best. And the last and final book in this book haul, I can't believe I actually bought 10 books this month. That may not seem like a lot to some of you. Some of you may be buying like 15 books a month, but where do you put them? Every month I have to like rearrange my books. So the last book in this book haul is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chosky. Oh, these names, okay? So this is the book that I received in the unboxing that I did for Fantasy and Sci-Fi Books, their May box. So this book is set around Indian folklore and mythology, and so the main character of this book, her father arranged a marriage with her and the prince of this neighboring kingdom. And so when she goes to live in this new kingdom, she finds something that she didn't necessarily think she would, and that is passion with the prince. But while all this is going on, she feels like she is in danger of something. And that is all for my book haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed telling you guys all about these new books that I have acquired, and I can't wait to read them all, although by the time I finish them all, it will be like October, because I have so many books on my TBR and I don't know how to read them all, okay? But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!